There we go. Just had to reset the card.
Okay.
But anyway, in today's world, fashion and style, it's like we're so, you know, both men and women are pushed to, you have to buy $50 on a pair of jeans, you have to spend 100, you know, all this money to look good, to look professionally, you know, whether you have a job or not. You know, you always have to, you know, go to these clubs where you have to spend a lot of money, a lot of time dressing up to impress people. But reality check here. Number one, not everybody has the money. Number two, not everyone feels like doing that. You know, it's whether you have a good job or whether you're making minimum wage. You know, it's like, okay, why put all this pressure on ourselves? So this is a different definition and more, shall we say, street level definition of fashion and style. I mean, you look, that looks like you spent a few $100 on it.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
It does. No, seriously, it does. But I'll let you introduce yourself first, and then we'll go from there.
Hi, my name's Julie Ann Edgar. Definitely shopping, paying retail, and going to brand name stores and buying brand name clothes is that's for dummies. We love thrifting, and it's eco-friendly because there are so many amazing clothes out there. There are just too many clothes in the world already. You don't need to be buying brand new clothes. I like to think maybe we're doing our part, our family is doing our part with 3 women to create less demand for brand new clothing. So we go thrifting all the time. My daughters are geniuses. They get the best stuff, like real silk, real linen, gorgeous things that are like higher quality than like cheap crap that's being shipped over from China. I mean, even if you buy something new at Forever 21 or whatever, like it's going to come apart, you know, in 2 weeks because the seam is cheap or whatever. So we'd rather buy older stuff. Where we live in Bethlehem, we like to go to the American Family Services thrift store at the far end of Hellertown. So my daughters are such thrifting geniuses. They spend almost nothing. So they go in there, look, eyeball this 3-piece suit, figure out that it would fit me, bring it home, it fits like a glove, and they seriously paid like $1.94 for it. And I've worn it to a bunch of business and networking events already, and I get like raves and compliments, and I always like laugh, you know, and deflect and be like, oh, I got it.
If you only knew.
That's right, that's right. So you don't have to spend a lot of money to look great. Just go to the thrift store, use your taste and your judgment, and believe in yourself and rock it.
Now, in addition to something like that where it's more for business, the first few photos, you had something on that it could be more for business and for, you know, everyday casual.
Sure, I had like a silk skirt down to here and like an ombre dyed poncho, different shades of blue. Even for business, since I'm a consultant, part of my branding is like my personality, my energy.
It's more your style than the fashion.
So I usually wear, you know, I wear suits sometimes. Sometimes I wear really colorful things and really feminine things. Not like ridiculous. Still, you know, I look like a lady, but I try to have a little fun with it. You don't go for even, you know, what I've seen at Music Fest where it's like, you don't go for the, okay, what's the legal minimum I can wear? I actually saw that a lot at Music Fest already, and I'm like, yeah, from a typical guy standpoint, it's great, but it's like, and yet you wonder why guys are constantly staring at you and coming up to you and everything. It's like, well, you know, you don't exactly have to show off every last millimeter of skin except for 2 parts. Music Fest and business are different. So.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you know, even in your everyday, I took notice you don't really do that. You don't really do that. You know, I've seen you casually, if you run into you every once in a while, and sometimes you do, but you mentioned the word lady, you know, so it's like.
Well, you know, there's no wardrobe or body shaming going on here. People should dress to please themselves, and you know, everybody has their own idea of tasteful. Yeah. So I think, you know, you just have to please yourself depending on the context and where you're going. Versus
in today's society mentality of always worried about what other people think.
Oh, no, I dress to please myself.
Okay. Now,
to my daughter's chagrin, they're like, Mother, are you really leaving the house wearing that? I'm like, but I like it.
we'll catch up to you. We don't, it's... Now for style, you actually gave the perfect lead into the second half of this part with the style. It's more the attitude. It's more how you present yourself.
You can go really, really cheaply on your clothes, but it's smart if you can to invest in a decent pair of shoes. And I don't mean like $120 pair of shoes. These were like $39, but they're like leather and suede. And I like to coordinate instead of match my shoes. I like to kind of like pick a different color and put a little spin on it. So
okay.
Quality pair of footwear. Actually, I got, like, judging from the brand and the price that was on it at American Family Services, I got $100 pair of Bjorn shoes or what are Born shoes for like $29. And that's an investment. I like that. I like a good pair of shoes, you know, but you can go pretty cheap on the clothes.
I'll agree with you on that, because it's 3 weeks ago I had to get a pair of sneakers, and I went to Walmart, got the $15 pair, and you know what? 2 weeks later, guess what? I went over to JCPenney, New Balance, 35 bucks. Yeah, I got 2 weeks out of those, versus I know I get at least a month out of them for the amount of miles I put on.
Oh my gosh! Whoa.
For the amount of miles I put on, they don't make a pair of sneakers that'll last me.
You need a $75 pair of sneakers then for all the walking you do.
No, trust me, I've tried them.
Oh, yeah.
Same amount of miles. So I understand what you're saying, though. You know, you do, especially for the footwear, and a lot of people will agree that you do have to at least one pair get something that's going to last.
And also, there are in Bethlehem and in Allentown. In Bethlehem, there are two: one on the south side, one on the north side. In Allentown, shoe repairmen. You know, a good pair of shoes can be repaired. They can be polished. You know, I keep, you know, polish at my house and stuff, and make sure that your shoes look nice. Take care of them. You know, for a couple bucks, you know, if something comes apart, you take it to your shoe fixer, and he does his old school magic. And, you know, you're good as new, and polishes it up, and you're like, damn, they look brand new. So shoes are worth investing in. Okay, now the style is something totally different. The style is, sorry about that, knee. But the style is something more of, like, walking down the street. You know, you have, like, you know, if you're walking down the street, you know, dressed like in jeans and in a t-shirt, and you have this attitude about you, like you belong there. It's more the attitude, it's more the way you present, it's more the self-confidence. Yeah, it's being comfortable in your, you have to be comfortable in your own skin before you can be comfortable in whatever you're wearing. So it starts there. It starts with loving yourself, and then, you know, in enjoying what you have on, whether it's more important to you to look cute or to be comfortable or a balance. You know, it totally has to do with the context, but, you know, feel good about yourself, feel good about what you wear. How it fits you is more important than like what it actually is. You know, you could have like something really cute, and if it's ill-fitting, it's gonna bomb, you know. So, yeah, like all those guys that wear the shorts and the jeans that drop down their body. Yeah, it's they may feel comfortable in it, but it's like, you know what? That's a cultural thing. I'm not gonna diss anybody. I'm not dissing them. It's just, you know what I'm saying. It's now. How would you describe your personal style? My personal style is very fun, very feminine, very colorful. My favorite colors are like, it sounds so bubblegum junior high, but I love teal, blues, purples, and pinks, honestly. A lot of colors. No, like pink, yellow, and light blue are bubblegum high school style. You threw in the blue, you know, you threw in the purple and stuff. Teal is awesome, and different shades of purple and lavender are awesome. You know, I usually mix it up. Luckily, my daughters and I have a lot of clothing between us, and we borrow and share liberally. So that's a great advantage I have, you know. So sometimes my daughters tell me I'm dressing a little too young, but I gotta watch that. You look beautiful, so why shouldn't you? Oh, thanks. You know, hey, come on, tell me you don't hear that at least 10 times a day from guys. I mean, I feel. No, I'm saying with your body, why shouldn't you? I get a lot of positive feedback, you know. But that's a nice way of putting it. You know, yeah, I get positive feedback. Positive feedback. That's sure. But no, it's you know, I'm saying, so, you know, you look young. You look very young. So why shouldn't you dress that way? I'll tell you a secret. The name Julie means youth and beauty. So I think I got a my name gives me a corner. Maybe not the beauty, but I have a youthful aura. I got a corner. Hey, to quote Tom Petty, I don't know what I've been told. You never slow down. You never grow old, right? That's amazing. So how else would you describe your style, like professionally? Professionally, I mean, I have a number of suits, you know, for like conferences, If I have to, during the course of my advocacy, if I have to testify in front of like public, regulatory boards and commissions, or if I have to visit a legislator's office, obviously I'm like a little more the power suit and less of the feminine hippie look,
And you're also more serious, and
definitely more serious.
I've actually seen you in that situation one time, and it's like the way we are as friends. It's like, and then all of a sudden, the way you are. That was the first time I saw you that way, and that caught me off guard. And I pretty much expect anything out of anybody,
Yeah.
And that pretty much. So yeah, I do remember that, So basically, it's so with again, staying professionally, you're actually an advocate for the environment and for other things, which I don't want to get in too heavily into that. That's for a totally different interview.
Sure.
But you do have your own business, so you are a successful, independent businesswoman. You are. And I've told people this, and you prove it, Facebook and in your actions. When it comes to the environment, your actions say a hell of a lot more than your words ever will. This is something I've taken notice to, because that's rare with today's world.
Well, I'm connected to like a very large, I call it my extended activist family or my extended activist community, and I would say that I'm just one of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people all over the world who are doing what they say too. I'm certainly not the only one,
Yeah, but I'm saying
shine
it's
my light here in the Lehigh Valley that I'm not the only one.
No, I know you're not the only one, but it's like you have a lot of people. Like I saw this happen when, like they were talking about the water lease.
Right.
I was at that one city council meeting, and I saw maybe 10 people that's truly believed in it. Everybody else was just jumping on the bandwagon to get their face in the news or whatever. You are definitely, you're one of those core people. You're not one of the ones that just say, oh wow, well this is the, like to quote a line from the movie PCU, the cause heads.
Oh.
Where it's like, okay, you don't just jump from one thing to another. You truly believe in it and you back it up with your actions.
When I started working on environmental issues, it was almost like having a religious conversion experience, like a spiritual conversion experience.
Born again.
I felt and saw like my life literally crystallize in front of my eyes. I'm like, this is the path I have to go on now. This is what I have to do. So yeah, that comes straight from the heart. I don't presume to judge anybody else's heart about why they do what they do, but I do it because I just care so freaking much that I can't not do it.
Okay. Well, as far as the fashion and style, any part of this, the next section is going to be actually, you're a single mother, so I think it's important for people like that to get, tell a little bit of their story, because you have so many single parents out there in today's world, and it's like, it's like giving them advice by hearing, guess what, yeah, it's not easy, but here's some things I may not have known about. So when the second half is the more personal side. This way people get to know you a little bit better, and it gives them a better idea of you as an activist, and to say, hey, guess what, it's not, this is great. It's not always easy, but it's worth it. You know what I mean? So, but any advice to people on the fashion style side, as far as, that, okay, it's great to spend the occasional treat yourself, spend money on clothes, but you don't always have to. So advice to people out there on that side.
Right. Well, keep it local. Buy, sell, trade, go to thrift stores, go to resale shops. For women, have a cute bag that complements your outfit. They're not too expensive. You can get a few. So just be true to yourself and like what you wear.
Okay. Cool. Thank you very much. I thought this was cool. So what do you think of the style of the interview?
A video is great. It's totally where it's at. It's that immediacy and emotional connection that people are craving in this world.
What do you think of how I'm not afraid to take the criticism, so it's like, what do you think of the style I did it though, with not really having the set questions and everything like that, or?
Absolutely, we're just having a conversation.
So, okay, well, thank you very much for your time, and round 2 shortly, okay?